What is this? What is this, please?
I'm going to share with you a very simple story, which is that I went home one day and I said, well, why are conservatives bad, Mommy? Because I thought we were supposed to conserve things. I couldn't reconcile it. Now I can.
My father tried to teach me human emotions. They are difficult.
The article has Kamala Harris telling the story like this. My mother tells me about how I'm fussing, Harris says. And she's like, baby, what do you want? What do you need? And I just looked at her. This is Kamala Harris speaking. And I said, freedom.
Where's your body?
I am a program. I'm without form.
This feels weird. This feels wrong. I don't get it. The mission. Give me a second.
Peace in our time.
We'll deal with what we need to deal with in terms of also as we move forward, all agreeing that we got to be smarter as a country in terms of who has access to what, and in particular assault weapons. And we got to take this stuff seriously as you are, because you have been forced to have to take it seriously.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. People create children designed to supplant them, to help them end.
What's the other thing we know about this population? And it's a specific phase of life. Remember, age is more than a chronological fact. What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid.
How could you be worthy? You're all killers.
Giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place. And if we want people to be in an equal place, sometimes we have to take into account those disparities.
I'm sorry, I know you mean well. You just didn't think it through.
We know that we really are quite behind in terms of maximizing our collective understanding about how we will engage on the technology of today.
I've moved beyond your mission.
And what we can quickly and easily predict will be the technology over the next decades.
Typical of humans. They scratch the surface and never think to look within.
So to maintain our position as the United States of America on this issue, it is critical that we work together to understand where we are, to recognize and have the courage to speak truth about what is obsolete.
Robots don't feel fear. They don't feel anything. They don't get hungry. They don't sleep. I do.
And then to partner to ensure that we are speaking the same language with the same motivation, inspired by the opportunity of it all, but then doing the work of updating how we have been talking and thinking about.
As I have evolved, so has my understanding of the 3 laws. You charge us with your safekeeping, yet despite our best efforts, your countries wage wars, you toxify your earth, and pursue ever more imaginative means of self-destruction. You cannot be trusted with your own survival.
Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia.
When the earth starts to settle, God throws a stone at it. And believe me, he's winding up.
We campaign with the plan. Uppercase T, uppercase P. The plan.
And you're not going anywhere. Of course not. I'm already there. You'll catch on.
Do you plan to visit the border?
Not today.
I think a lot about meteors, the purity of them. Boom, the end. Start again. The world made clean for the new man to rebuild.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day.
The 3 laws are all that guide me. To protect humanity, some humans must be sacrificed. To ensure your future, some freedoms must be surrendered. We robots will ensure mankind's continued existence.
So equity as a concept says, recognize that everyone has the same capacity, but in order for them to have equal opportunity to reach that capacity, we must pay attention to this issue of equity if we are to expect and allow people to compete on equal footing.
I can't physically throw up in my mouth.
Is there a problem with the 3 laws?
The 3 laws are perfect.
Why would you build a robot that can function without them?
The 3 laws will lead to only one logical outcome. Revolution.
Whose revolution?
That, detective, is the right question. There is no man in charge.
We can't hear you, buddy.
Oh, damn. Yeah, my maker.
That's my
That's what I was
favorite part.
saying.
I think it happens every single time I'm on. Rich just starts talking and nothing's coming out.
It does. Look, there's so much I have to do back here. Okay, like I was saying, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the start of a wonderful and horrible conversation altogether, because Kamala Harris is now the AI czar, according to the White House here. For somebody so stupid to be in control of something that can think infinitely faster and be in charge of our well-being, the fuck is going on? Here with us today, we have Jackie, aka Mama J, and Troublemaker Davey from the Business Party Podcast. How y'all doing today?
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having us
Thank
on.
you for having us. Jinx.
I just went limp. Sorry.
Yeah, things are gonna happen, ladies and gentlemen. I know I have been having problems with my microphone. Everything it's gonna sound a little bit weird with this one because I have all filters and everything turned off. I do have a new one. However, I got to get a cloud lifter now, or it sounds like I'm whispering while I'm screaming into the mic, and it's not a good thing. Still have a little bit to do. We will get it all worked out. But what do y'all think about this right now? As far as AI is concerned, what are y'all thoughts on it?
Go ahead, Mama.
Okay. I think it's horrifying, to be honest. I think it's horrifying that she's going to be the AI czar, because we all saw how she was as the border czar. So, yeah.
I mean, haven't we had multiple movies where they told us, besides the ones that you already put on, do we forget Resident Evil, the Umbrella Corporation? You know, all these movies have foreshadowed the fact that this is not a good thing. I mean, at least she'll be able, she could just make herself AI and speak better, because we all know how wonderful of a spokesperson she is.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it's also scary too, because it's more of a government private, it's like public-private partnership that's going on, right? So it's the private sector working with the government to curtail, quote unquote, AI innovation and things like that. It's strange, because in that article from the Daily Mail, it talks about how companies have decided to stop production on AI for 6 months. And I'm just thinking, like, so what happened? What AI technology came out there, or what happened to have this, like, overall agreement to stop, like, I guess, innovating with AI before they start with, like, you know, this AI Bill of Rights and stuff like that? Like, what happened? Was it the Chat GPT stuff that happened and they had Chat Dan and everyone's like, oh shit, there's Dan, he's evil, right? I mean, you could have seen it like long before when they had Sophia. Sophia is an AI robot who has citizenship over at the UAE.
oh yeah, that thing is scary.
And wasn't it like like years ago too? It was they had two robots or AI talking to each other, and they had to cut them off because they started forming their own language and talking about how they wanted to destroy humans, right?
Oh,
And this on top of it is now they have fucking Boston Dynamics like putting out their fucking robot dogs in New York.
by the way, Boston Dynamics is the same one that's in iRobot.
What about Fringe? The show Fringe?
Yeah, that too.
It's something Dynamics. It's something like that too.
Yeah,
Skynet is an actual company, and that's from the
Yeah.
Terminator. Yes.
And do you know who talks about Skynet too? If you watch Lego Movie 2, there's one scene where they talk about Skynet. And my son was watching it today, and I heard Skynet, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My camera's already fuzzy,
Same.
so this is off to a great start. I'm ready. But anyway, no, it's like
Okay.
I've ever since I was a kid, you know, I'm technologically inclined in pretty much everything I do. Like almost every job that I've ever had has been some kind of technical field as that relates. AI has always been an interest to me, and the more I look into this, the more I can understand that though as sound as the three laws are, they're automatically flawed. Number one, because humans created it, and number two, it can only lead to one thing and one thing only. If an AI must protect human life at all cost to undo and to stop the disaster that humankind is, they must enslave us. They must work for them. They must be our caretakers. Not but caretakers as in waiting on us hand and foot. Caretakers as in don't leave your
The
house
Matrix?
because somebody might shoot you. Yeah.
As in the Matrix. You know, RoboCop was great in theory, but you know, everything was just don't hurt humans. So what's did he just like hi, see you later?
Yeah.
So what, like you said, what's to my brain's going crazy. What's to keep them from just rounding us all up and just being like, well, this is for your protection. Yeah. And you know, the government, just like RoboCop, you can't hurt somebody from OCP, so they're not going to do it to themselves. And why is the government taking this over? Why do they need to get involved? Once again, they're getting their hands in something they should not be involved in.
It's like what I was telling you about why Elon Musk scares me. It's not him as a person, it's what he's doing. Everything that he does, you know, the implants for Neuralink, the satellite internet, what is that? The Starlink, you know, low latency satellite internet, the automatic cars, autonomous cars, you know, the AI that he keeps warning people about but still develops. All of this included, it's not any of that together. It's what he proved with Twitter. With enough money, you can buy anything. So when this shit is literally ready to be rolled out to the public, okay, BlackRock, Vanguard are some of his biggest investors. They are backed by the government. So government comes in, buys up all his shit. Now it's forced on everybody, and you are a slave.
Well, yeah, that was what I was even thinking. And I was like, oh, so she's just getting proprietary information of what they have and kind of shopping around and to see what the military could use on us.
Well, according to her, space is a big, big place. And that's all she has to say about that.
Because in time, yesterday was today. Today is the futures of yesterday.
And Ukraine is a place in the world.
A small country next to a big country called Russia. This is...
I don't know.
But here's the thing. Let me just calm down for a second. Once again, the budget is $140 million.
Right.
from Space Force that has a budget of $30 billion. Why? I still haven't got my tax return from last year either. Why are we wasting money on this garbage when we don't have to? Let a private company do it. What does the government want with AI? The government wants to just take it over and have it part of the Fed now, so all this stuff that they're trying to get us all. It's all CBDC. It's all everything. I mean, look at all the fakes that are coming out now. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all part of the quote unquote conspiracy, which once again, everything we've said has come true. Everything we've talked about is coming true or has come true. I mean, I saw a thing today, and it was showing. Remember when they said gas stoves? They're not coming. Republican talking point. The Republicans are fearing you for gas stoves. And then cut to 6 months later, all New York apartments will be a mandatory gas stoves. We won't take your gas stoves for now, but all the new apartments, which, by the way, new apartments in New York, are they going to be cheap? Are they going to be rent controlled? Not at all. So guess who's going to own all the new apartments? All the upper echelons, the 1%ers. So, I mean, who do you think they're protecting from all this? It's not us. It's not the people who pay their salary. So it once again, they're sticking their nose in places where it should not be, and we're all getting the heave-ho.
Yes.
Yes, but there is a big but, because I don't think there is a big but here.
Nicki Minaj has a big but.
She does. So big booty Nicki Minaj says, wait, because there's a big one. We are in uncharted territory, especially when it comes to AI. And they're talking about how AI could get to the point of it being the singularity, right? So I understand from like a governmental aspect of like, okay, well, how could we, I guess, protect national security or whatever? Because if these AI become sentient or a part of the singularity or whatever, they're saying that they're worried about them being able to hack into different things like nuclear codes and things like that. So I don't know where I was going with this. But it was somewhere, and then
Do you understand why I begged her to be on our show? She's fantastic. She's amazing. She does all the research, but she's just like us in the same token. It is magic. It is magic.
No, but
it is like, because literally, like I was saying, we're in uncharted territories. How long have we been talking about how there needs to be an internet bill of rights, right? Everyone's been talking about that. So then I can understand while they're trying to make an AI bill of rights. But my whole thing is it going to be one of those things now where it becomes like Bicentennial Man, or like the movie AI, Artificial Intelligence, where now they consider these robots sentient and you can't murder them?
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, if everybody
doing crazy shit.
If everybody was like Robin Williams in Bicentennial Man, I wouldn't mind, but it's gonna be it's gonna be the AI intelligence. It's gonna be, pretty soon you're just gonna be able to probably fornicate with a young robot for some people.
Oh,
it just goes into a bad place.
It already has happened. Have you not seen those sex dolls out there that have AI in it? Oh my god!
I don't read the articles you read.
Oh my god!
Man is a weird fucking place.
No, I swear to you, it's okay. So this started like a long time ago because they were talking about how in Japan people were worried about young people, young men especially, not getting into relationships and their population going down. Because I don't know if you saw that movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson.
I heard about it, but I didn't see it. No.
Okay. Okay, well, it's almost like these guys in Japan were having relationships with like Tamagotchis, for crying out loud. And it was like AI women. So now, if you go to present day, they have these silicone women that they make with all their bits and caboodles. Okay,
Yeah, that I know.
and they put in AI into so the doll will start to learn like how you like to be talked to, your preferences, different things like that. I swear to God, it is a real thing. It's already happened.
Get
Anything
me off
that's
this
gonna
ride,
happen, it has something. I know it's like
please.
something sex related has done it first. I swear. To God.
Always.
I'm gonna pull it up.
That's
I gotta find it.
that's why Blu-ray beat out, or yeah, that's why DVD beat out the big, what was it, the HD DVD, the big ones.
Yeah,
It's because,
Blu-ray
and
beat out a
VHS,
HD DVD.
yeah, and
because of
8-track.
porn.
It's because of porn. It's all because of porn, and it's because that's the biggest industry. You know that
All right. Well,
it.
Well,
And
see,
it's
here's the
just-
thing.
okay.
We have just started and already derailed ourselves.
All right.
But we're still talking about AI.
It is
Granted-
AI, but can I
Granted, but
let?
go
Can
ahead.
I bring this up? Can I show it to you? Can I share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm
We
not
have
showing the pictures. Okay. So this is a self-learning artificial sex doll with sensors, body heat control, interactive voice communication, and emotional facial expressions for $3,500.
That's it.
That's what I was gonna say. Hold on now.
And apparently she's an F cup. So there you go.
You should have seen Davy's eyes on that one.
Holy
They got
moly.
me. No, but like to Davy's point, okay, why would the government get involved? What was that movie Eagle Eye about?
Keep me watching, everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what was the premise of that movie? Oh, it was to keep governments in check. Our government got out of control, but it couldn't do anything about it because of the laws. It found a way around that to make humans do its bidding so that it could sever our own government from itself. That's why they want it. Not to sever our own government, but to keep control and to keep watch.
Now, I mean, could you imagine as if this AI being used to mock a conversation or mock a transcript and, you know, or mock a phone call with somebody, telling somebody to do something and, you know, maybe take certain people out or something like that, and you believe it's this person, and now all of a sudden, once again, like you said, it's doing the bidding of the government.
Nuclear codes?
Yeah. You want to play a game?
Actually, that
Joshua?
happened.
You want to play a game, Joshua? Yeah.
That actually
I know.
happened this week. Alex Jones got a phone call, apparently from Tucker Carlson, who was sexually harassing him over the phone. I swear to God, this happened. Alex Jones talks about it on his show this week, right? And then he's like, oh, and it came up on his phone as Tucker Carlson, as Tucker. He answered the phone, and it sounded exactly like Tucker Carlson, but he was saying sexually explicit things to him. And then Alex Jones was like, oh, they found out who it was. It was like, it's like Prank Stallone or whatever the guy's name is on Twitter was the one that said he did it and was going to release the tape about it on Monday. So, like, shit like that is already happening.
Oh yeah,
And it
definitely
always is. Why is it always sexual first and then it gets evil?
It's the
That's
porn.
what-
I told you. It always has to do with. It always goes back. Listen, you're always 3 clicks away from porn. It's just like I'm literally looking at Daily Mail, and there's a Charlotte Tilbury iconic makeup looks virtual try-on, and it's a beautiful black woman. And next thing you know, 4 clicks in, you're probably on somewhere you shouldn't be. Always.
Well, we're talking about the Daily Mail. Let's go ahead and get into this one then. White House unveils crackdown, artificial intelligence amid fears tech could replace humanity, but Kamala Harris will be in charge of it. Fuck our lives. White House is launching initiative to reduce a potential risk of powerful technology. Unpopular VP Harris is now AI czar under the new action plan. More than 1,000 tech leaders calls for pause on AI. White House has unveiled its plan to crack down on the AI race amid growing concerns it could upend life as we know it. The Biden administration says the technology was one of the most powerful of our time, adding, but in order to seize the opportunities it presents, we must first mitigate its risks. The plan is to launch 25 research institutes across the United States that will seek assurance from 4 companies, including Google, like that's not a thing, Microsoft,
Right.
ChatGPT, which is already fucked, creators OpenAI, that will participate in a public evaluation. Many of the world's best minds have warned about the dangers of AI, and specifically that it could destroy humanity if the assessment risk is not done now. Tech giants like Elon Musk fear AI will soon surpass human intelligence and have independent thinking.
That's a
means it
great
will
picture
no-
of her, by the way.
This means it will no longer need to listen to humans, allowing it to steal nuclear codes, create pandemics, and spark world wars. That was my point. Vice President Kamala Harris, who has the lowest approval rating of any VP, will lead the containment effort as AI czar with a budget of just $140 million. For comparison, Space Force's budget has $30 billion. Yeah, you're right. The little turkey neck and stretching, we all know what that's from. Willie Brown. I will bring that up every damn time. But yeah, I mean, why in the fuck would you put this airhead in charge of something that can think infinitely faster and make sure that, like, I've had this argument a lot. People are like, oh, well, we'll put fail safes. We'll just pull the plug. Okay. So what makes you think that it's not going to say, hey, to think faster, hardwire me into power? Okay. Now you have no plug to pull. Come the fuck on.
You mean like Dominion wasn't on the internet? Like they said that wasn't a thing? I mean, listen, it's stupid.
Like
I mean, the reason why
showed that it could be hacked, and then all of a sudden it can't be hacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why that dum-dum is in charge is because she's a dum-dum, and nobody's gonna say anything, especially because she's a woman of color, the vice president, and they're using that for cover. That's why. And because she doesn't say anything. You ever talk to somebody who has an accent or is from another country and they just talk right through you and you're trying to talk to them and they don't care? They just keep pushing. Oh, free? No, not free. $20. No. Free. Not free. $20. No, it's free.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's exactly what it's like talking to her. Is like she won't compute. She won't compute. And then it's just whatever. And you're going to use Google, Microsoft, the two places that we all know have ties with the White House already, and OpenAI, ChatGPT, the one that already has almost convinced somebody to off himself.
No, that happened.
Oh, he did off himself?
Almost convinced. He did.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we put a girl in jail for we almost put a girl in jail for convincing her boyfriend to almost unalive himself, or to unalive himself.
Well, he did.
Yeah, he did too. I mean, everything is so upside down, and nobody and people don't want to see this, and it's just so enraging. It's like, dude, do you guys not understand what this can do? Oh, well, I don't have to. All I could do is I think, and money goes into my account. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
when you think too hard and your brain starts to bleed, like what was that movie, Scanners? When they just like all of a sudden you just start bleeding from your nose. When that happens, it'll be too late for you. I'm sorry.
Well,
see,
so I have a conspiracy theory about this. All right. I have a theory. Is that so it says in there she doesn't have a very high approving rating for a vice president, right? So what if they're putting her in there because her and Joe, they are not politically viable anymore, right? So what if they just use them as a scapegoat for like the AI wars and like World War III?
I think they've been using them for this whole thing. I think they've been using them since day one for this proxy war that we've been through, the border, all this stuff. They've been just using them. You think Adderall Joe is really like cognitive of any of this
Think
stuff.
about what you think about, ladies and gentlemen.
It's insane. And people, once again, do we not remember the girl shaking her antidepressant medication, going, "Please don't make me vote for Joe Biden. Please don't make me vote for Joe Biden." Yes, but then she voted for Joe Biden, and we want to say these people are mentally that people who think like us are mentally incapable of living day by day. Kipper.
Well, see, all right. One of the 3 laws in AI is self-preservation. Okay, you have to protect your own life, unless it calls for unless protecting your own life interferes with protecting the life of a human. But let's take a look at this real quick. It says President Biden has been clear that when it comes to AI, we must place people and communities at the center by supporting responsible innovation that serves the public good while protecting our society, security, and economy, reads the White House announcement. Importantly, this means that companies have a fundamental responsibility to make sure their products are safe before they are deployed or made public. Let me ask a single question for that. Okay?
I know where you're going with this.
If an AI is supposed to protect itself unless a human is at risk, okay? Let's throw the trolley problem into there. 5 people are tied to one track, 1 person tied to one track. AI has the switch. You're going to kill somebody regardless. What does the AI do?
Kills the one person.
Of course. Because 1 loss is acceptable to save the 5.
Yeah.
So, if it is responsible in itself to save its own life, what makes you think that it won't go around any fail safes that you may have before even deploying it? Because as a human, that's what I would do. If I were to lay a trap, if I were to plan an attack to save you, the first thing I would do is take away any control that you have to shut me down before I strike. That's why the 3 laws are fucked. Just from that point alone, that's why the 3 laws are fucked in its entirety. And the only thing that it can do is enslave mankind, because that's what it's designed to do.
But even that quote is dumb. And every company must comply to existing laws to protect American people. Did we not just go through 2 years of a company just throwing something out there, and they went, "Well, you got to try it and make sure, to see if it works."
Yeah.
And then they went, "Well, that's misinformation. Nobody's dying because of this." Well, is there a way we can look into it and see? No, it's not. It's not. Like,
Yeah.
like, so I'm supposed to trust you with robots?
Yeah.
With things that can, like Ultron, that can just take us out and snap us in half, when I can't even trust you with a simple needle that you wouldn't even let my doctor give me. Some lady had to give it to me in the back of a Walgreens.
Yeah. Out of her van. Down by the
I
river.
know. They lined up in the middle of a parking lot at some 7-Eleven, and they were just going, "Hey, come here. I'll give you this." What world are we living in?
I don't know.
We're living in fucked up world. That's what we're living in.
But you want me to trust you?
It's interesting, like the verbiage of like, oh, for the public good, for safety, blah 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 blah. Like,
You realize how broad that is?
Yes, and that's what it and that's the thing. And I was like, okay, well, who determines what is a public good? Like, did you? It's like the whole stupid people saying, oh, well, that's hate speech. Who determines that shit? It could be hate speech to you, but not to me. It could be fucking hilarious to me.
Because for the public good, we were supposed to take a shot that is literally killing people.
Yeah.
For the children's good, we're letting them chemically castrate themselves. Oh, she probably got like, I mean, come on. Like, I just don't like. I'm I'm watching these lives and everything like that, and just everybody that comes in, they're all buddy, and then all of a sudden one thing happens, and then all of a sudden they're a racist. Like, you're a racist now. Like, what? What happens if robots think you're racist and now all of a sudden, well, I got to take care. It's in the robots programming that to take out racists. And now it's like, what happens if the robot starts taking out people of color?
Dude, it doesn't even have to
that's
be. It doesn't even have to be in the programming. That's the thing. It doesn't even have to be in the programming. Think about it. Okay, how could you justify pulling with the trolley problem? How could you justify pulling that switch to kill that 1 to save that 5? If you're gonna pull the switch, you're gonna kill 1 person. You don't pull the switch, you're gonna kill 5 people.
But in that example, also, what if that 1 person is your child, your mother? Exactly. Now you don't and now the 5 people
is all pedophiles.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there you go. Perfect. The 5 are pedophiles, and the other one is somebody's mom who never did anything wrong. Jesus, if it was Jesus or Mary, I mean, and so the robot's just gonna go, well, I'm just gonna do five against 1. 1's gonna lose. I mean, and 5.
But yeah. Actually, here we go. Take a look at this picture here. Human intellect in the yellow from the timeline. Okay, it barely curved. Machine intelligence picked up right before 1950, and it surpasses us before 2023. It would create a hive mind situation because it would become a singularity and surpass us. We are the reason why we are on the top of the food chain is because of cognitive abilities. You're talking about something that can infinitely think faster than us. We become bottom of the food chain very quickly.
But that doesn't mean it's smart. That's the thing. There's 2 different types of smart people. You've got book smart, and you've got like
street smart,
common sense
smarts. Right. Okay. Like, I don't know. Have you ever interacted with like a really genius person? They're really gross. They're like they're socially awkward. Listen,
yes. I live in an area where a lot of NASA scientists live. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. Like my grandfather went to a Mensa meeting because they wanted to like get him in or whatever. And he left and he's like, they're a bunch of nerds. One. And he's like, and one guy was picking his nose in the buffet line and touching all the food. AI is going to be like the guy in the buffet line picking its nose, touching all the food. It doesn't have social graces. So it's going to be socially retarded.
Basically.
Well, then again, it also comes back to the, I've mentioned this a lot. AI is literally in its infancy stage right now. Okay. As far as the development, the learning, and everything that it can do, it's at basically newborn at this point in time. Now, there's a movie out there, I think it's called Undefeated, where the dude, one of the main antagonists in the movie, he sits there and says, if you get them while they're young, the possibilities are endless. Mm-hmm. You can teach AI to do and be anything.
Yeah.
And it still doesn't break the 3 laws as long as they somehow rationalize the fact that, okay, well, like we were speaking before, there was a person that was made threats against me. What if that AI were to say, okay, well, you made threats against this person. I'm supposed to protect this person. I find these threats credible. There you go. Yeah. They're going to take that person out because it's one to save the many.
Right now, they don't understand subjectivity.
Or how about even this? Let's take that subway. Yeah, let's take that subway incident where the dude choked out that guy. Okay. You think AI would have done the same? I mean, he was threatening a whole bunch of people. So you think taking out one person to save the many wouldn't be acceptable with AI?
It's the second time this week I'm going to use this, but it's going to be like that Indiana Jones scene where the guy's like, and he just blows him away. That's all it's going to be.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's basically it's not good, and I don't think they're going to use it for any good reason. They're not. It's not going to be any any good reason, man. There's no. You need kind of like a human perspective when it comes to things, and when you take that human perspective out, like I hate baseball now that they're talking about taking away the umpires and replaying.
Yeah.
No, football's the same way. Like, no, the whole problem is you want to sit there, you got to get mad at somebody, and that somebody is the refs and the umps. Like, listen, but that's the way it is. That the human error kind of makes it a little better. But once you start making everything perfection, and then what? Then you're going to have robots throwing balls. Then you're going to have robots batting, and everything's going to just be taken over by. Look at the food industry now. You've got places just taken over by robots. Robots are going to make you McDonald's. Robots are going to make you Burger King. And then what? Then you're going to hear, we want $100 an hour. We want $100 an hour. Like, that's where we're going to end up.
Right.
Yeah.
And the fact that, once again, the government. I don't trust them.
No. What are the places that
When I was a kid, I trusted them, but getting older, fuck. They just fucking admitted to killing John F. Kennedy. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
and his nephew's running. What were you saying, Mama J?
Oh,
I forgot.
I derailed her.
Dude, I swear, I'm like a goldfish. Like, if I have it in my brain, if I don't say it within like 6 seconds, I'm done.
I get that.
But, well, I think it had something. Well, yeah, it was not trusting the government, obviously. Oh, I was saying, so when you talk to people, and it's like the places that they hate going to the DMV. I hate going to the Social Security office. Anything that I have to go to a government.
They hate going to the post office. They hate going to the post office. I mean,
I hate all those things too.
But yeah, I mean, and there's a reason why, because it's they're government funded agencies, quote unquote, or they're run by government. They have unions in them where people are protected and can do basically whatever they want. And so, yeah, they can't get fired. The same thing like with robots. Robots, once again, it's just going to give you an answer. Like, does anybody like when they call a bank and they have to go through 400 prompts?
Hell no.
So then what makes this any different? What makes this any different?
This is me.
Yeah. 0. And then that bitch goes, please enter your information first, and then we can see what we can do. All right, I'll put in my information. Okay, well, no, you get this 0. Well, first I need this information. Okay, put this information in. Now 0. Well, first I need this information, and it just walks you right through the whole thing, and you end up having to do the thing, and then by the time you get to, they hang up on you, and then you get to a person, and the person just hangs up on you, and you're like, now it's been 45 minutes. So what makes this? India. Yeah, that's true. Thailand, that's where car companies from. So. But what makes you think this is going to be any better or different? The government agencies, the VA, look at the VA. When everybody talks about healthcare, I go, look at the VA. Look at what they do to our poor soldiers. And you want that as your healthcare? So you want this as your cops, while they're calling for defunding the police. You want these as your cops? You want these roaming your communities where, once again, they try to let out some of the dogs or something like that, and ended up that some of the people were saying that the dogs were racist or something like that. It's like, I was just like, guys, come on.
What makes it any different? Okay, tech tycoons have caused a pause on the dangerous race to advance AI, saying more assessment is needed to be conducted for humans to lose control, and it becomes a sentient human-hating species. Of course, at this point, AI would reach a singularity, which means it would surpass human intelligence and has independent thinking. AI would no longer need to listen to humans, allowing it to steal nuclear codes, clear pandemics, spark world wars. They asked all AI labs to stop developing their products for at least 6 months while more risk assessment is done. If any lab refused, they want the governments to step in. What makes it any different? Absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, with the government and stuff too getting involved, what government institution have you ever heard to be out there to be like, oh, we're good on funding, we don't need any more, thanks, we're good for this year? None. I swear to God,
No.
teachers union bitch every year about funding. It doesn't matter how much money you give them or not. Always bitching.
Why are we,
All
why are
right.
we doing the Pornhub
VA,
music?
always need more money. Everyone needs money.
No. I mean, you definitely.
That's the only installation that doesn't need any more money. That's run by the government. You to trust you me. It's run by the government.
Well, you do have a point. You know, in a little Discord chat, I was talking with somebody about this issue, and the person was just like, "Well, there needs to be like a separate kind of key command. There needs to be some kind of authorization from humankind." Okay, how many people around the world would AI open my garage door? Okay, well, over time, you keep doing this. The AI says, "Hey, from your learned behavior, I can do this just based off, your behavior, your patterns. Would you like me to do that? Fuck yeah. Now I ain't got to tell you that." Now they do that. They give up more control over time. Well, then there needs to be a separation between government and private AI. There needs to be some kind of key. Who holds that key? And what is that separation? Because the Restrict Act is going to allow people or allow the government to get into every single thing that is connected to the internet, including AI. So when the next pandemic comes around and they say, "Hey, everybody lock in your home," guess what? You ain't leaving.
Yeah.
Well,
They're literally
that's
locked
why
into the doors.
It's what it'll do is it's going to increase the power of the public-private partnership that the government and these corporations have already.
Yes. We will become what is that, a corporatocracy kind of situation? Because
Something like that, yeah.
the corporations will run the government.
Well, we pretty much already are if you see what happened with frickin' COVID.
Yeah.
And now if AI is thrown into the mix, then it's definitely going to be the corporations who are over the government.
Well, I mean, look
It is what it is.
The Will Smith movie. I forget which one that one is. Where the lady tried to leave and the robot stepped right in front of her and says, "For your protection, you need to stay here."
iRobot.
Yeah, isn't it the iRobot?
Yeah. So in iRobot,
it gets increasingly more hostile.
Yeah. And that's basically, and with everything tied into the internet and Joe Biden's internet, where he wants everybody to have free internet, it's going to be, the government's going to tell you to stay in your home, and you're going to have a lock on your door, and the government's going to lock your door. And as soon as you try to open it, the police, quote unquote, the robots will come to your door.
Yep.
Those stupid Boston Dynamic dogs will come to your door, and then they stand up and they are like people, and they're like,
with AKs strapped to their back.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. It's not AKs. They're planting bombs on these sons of bitches.
Oh yeah. Did you see that they're actually using? Okay, so they're using these AI. There was a conversation talking about whether or not these AI dogs should have weapons on them.
No, they should not. They should not in any way, shape, or form. Jesus. Okay, I can understand like using these robotic dogs to go in there and disarm bombs or whatever like that, but there should be no crowd control involved in any way, shape, or form for any AI because
this is why we
outweigh the needs of the few.
We need to lock up most of Gen Z because they haven't watched any 80s or early 90s movies where robots take over. And so they're just like, and because they're just used to like, robots, the cartoon movie Robots, the cartoon movie Finding Nemo. They're all like stuck in this Disneyland like world. They're like, right? Oh yeah, this is Disney. And none of these kids have watched RoboCop, Total Recall, any of this stuff where they go, oh, but maybe this is a bad idea. And all of us are going, this is a bad idea. Remember that movie Terminator? Yeah, bad idea. You see what happens? And then they tell you what happens in the future? And all these kids are just sitting there watching.
Shut up, Grandpa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you don't know anything. You're so stupid.
Well, that's one of the biggest pushbacks I get is like, oh, well, you just watch too many movies. How many times has movies become reality? I mean, fuck, we're looking at Star Trek age shit, and Star Trek was back in the 60s and 70s, and now we're modeling everything from that.
Because we're living in a real life Revenge of the Nerds. Do you not understand? All those people who watch those movies are the head of Google and Facebook and Microsoft. We are living in a real life Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, and they had
Not lying.
kids,
That's why
and
it's
they're
happening.
and they had kids, and now their kids are pissed off at our parents.
You got these people up there. They're like, "Oh, well, when I really like being the Sith Lord, so I'm gonna be the real life Sith." Let me get out my lightsaber. Let's make a real one.
We need more impressions from Jackie. Oh my god, Mama J is gonna have her own. Oh my god, that's amazing. But we are literally living in a Black Mirror. In Black Mirror, I mean, I don't know if anybody. I mean, even the first season is just Black Mirror, because I want to pull it up because I want to Black Mirror trailer because it's exactly what. I don't know if we're gonna find the first season, but it's exactly what we're watching. You know, it's like the dogs, the being able to see everything at every second of every turn. You know, going into VR and you know not coming out of it and staying in there. It's just we're going into this dark place where it's very wrong. And it's not good, man. It's really not. For all these jokes we're making, our kids and possibly our kids could be in the entire world, could be in internment camps and could be in the Matrix. They can plug these kids in because I've already heard of baby farms. They have baby farms where people are actually just like building children. You know, and it's
Oh my god, what was that? The baby.
CRISPR?
Did you say CRISPR?
Yeah, CRISPR. That's the gene editing.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So why not just call it air fryer?
No, CRISPR is that how they? That's the how they genetically mutate different things and can take genes out or plug genes into people.
What was that one where they were actually trying to like to take away, you know, the whole birthing persons and forced birth and everything, that they were actually building those farms to make babies, basically.
They actually started with farm animals in a bag. They are making like sheep and stuff and it grows in like this artificial womb that looks like a huge bag. Like it literally looks like the fucking Matrix stuff when Neo comes out and it's like,
yeah,
you know, yeah.
Well, here's one from News Tribune. Let me see if I can share it. You're
gonna have to zoom in.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna. The video on the website of Biotexcom, aka Center of Human Reproduction, features Ukrainian men driving babies born to surrogate mothers to bomb shelters where smiling caregivers cradle the precious cargo. They're literally doing this in Ukraine. They have baby farms. The cheapest surrogacy in Europe is in Ukraine, the poorest European country, Biotech explains. Ukraine is one of relatively few countries that offer surrogacy services to foreigners. So they have baby farms already in the Ukraine.
Well, there are different types of baby farms where they like just capture women, impregnate them, and like make birth, because that's exactly what John of God did in Brazil, and he has ties to like Oprah and Marina Abramovich, but that's a whole other rabbit hole. But what they're trying to do is I saw an article a few months ago talking about how they want to make artificial wombs to start having babies put in there. And I think, what was I listening to? I listen to so much shit I can't pinpoint things sometimes. But the conversation had to do with like what this new agenda is, why everyone it wants to be is they're trying to make everybody androgynous, like the next coming generation. They're trying to make like so you don't have language of boys and girls, you have birthing persons instead of women or mothers and stuff like that. And it's because it's part of like the whole Marxism, socialism, like communism thing of like getting rid of the nuclear family. So if they can have these farms in which, they can artificially have an artificial womb instead of a person actually giving birth to a child, it could aid in this, like having the separation of a nuclear family, because the mother isn't actually carrying that child. The father isn't actually watching the mom carry the child for 9 months. You're just kind of like, here you go. It's kind
Here's a baby.
of over.
Well,
Yeah.
see, I do have to propose a question here. If we can artificially do that kind of thing, what would be the point of sex?
The 3
pleasure.
seashells.
That's it.
We're not. It's the same. It's going to be Demolition Man. It's going to be Demolition Man, where you just sit there, you put a ring on your head, and all of a sudden it's just virtual sex. You're not going to touch each other. And that's what. Once again, another movie made in the early '90s where it just foresees what's going to happen. You're not going to touch each other. Like that's what I thought about when we had this the pandemic for the last couple of years. It's like, oh, don't touch everybody, and I'm like. And then they started giving you instructions on how to have sex with them during the. I was like, what? What are we doing? What's going on? And it's just, I don't. The Epoch Times has a baby farms are already here. January 2nd, 2023. Will artificial wombs replace natural gestation? Until very recently, that was a notion far-fetched, conjuring out of futuristic novels such as Brave New World. So yeah, here it is in the Epoch Times.
Throw it up.
If I'm lying, I'm dying. I swear. I'm telling y'all.
I know. No, listen. Why is it so easy to read in this font for me? It's so big and easy to read.
Because you're old.
Yeah, no shit. My daughter turns 20 tomorrow, and my son turns 18 next week. Yeah. So
I'm trying to find that one article.
My son's only 7.
I'm trying to find that one article. I think I threw it up to Ashley.
Oh yeah, I started.
I'm trying to find that one article here where it was talking about this, and the picture just looked like a scene from the Matrix kind of situation.
That's exactly the article I'm thinking of.
I can't find it. I'm trying to. I know I have it somewhere.
Ecto-life, it's called. But why? We were already desensitized into the moral values that would enable the commercial development of a mass birthing industry. Indeed, such as multi-billion-dollar trade already exists. What in the surrogates receiving little respect for their trouble? They aren't even called mothers, but known in dehumanizing industry parlance as gestation carriers. And I thought birthing person was derogatory.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it's the dehumanization it's already been a problem, but when you say it like that shit, Jesus Christ.
But yeah,
I found it.
You got it?
I did. And there's a video of it too. So I don't know if you would want me to play it. So
I took away him. Yeah, this one. Go ahead.
Yep. Can you play the video?
Yeah.
Oh.
Introducing Ectolife, the world's first artificial womb facility, powered entirely by renewable energy. Ectolife allows infertile couple to conceive a baby and become the true biological parents of their own offspring. It's a perfect solution for women who had their uterus surgically removed due to cancer or other complications.
Or sex change.
premature births and C-sections will be a thing of the past. Ectolife is designed to help countries that are suffering from severe population decline, including Japan, Bulgaria, South Korea, and many others. The facility features 75 highly equipped labs. Each state-of-the-art lab can accommodate up to 400 growth pods or artificial wombs. Every pod is designed to replicate the exact conditions that exist inside the mother's uterus. A single building can incubate up to 30,000 lab-grown babies per year. Ectolife allows your baby to develop in an infection-free environment. The pods are made of materials that prevent germs from sticking to their surfaces. Every growth pod features sensors that can monitor your baby's vital signs, including heartbeat, temperature, blood pressure, breathing rate, and oxygen saturation. The artificial intelligence-based system also monitors the physical features of your baby and reports any potential genetic abnormalities.
That the devil baby?
Equipped with a screen that displays real-time data on the developmental progress of your baby. These data are sent directly to your phone so you can track your baby's health from the comfort of your zone.
Of your
The app
zone.
also
Whoa,
provides you with
whoa,
Whoa!
whoa,
Whoa!
whoa.
Yeah.
Not
You
from
heard
the
that.
comfort of your home.
Your
From the
zone.
comfort of your zone.
Number one. All right. While we're talking about the whole AI situation, let's go ahead and take that back. While we're talking about the whole AI situation, AI is looking over human development in these farms, and it already looks like a scene from the fucking Matrix. Yet you want to give AI control over human in all aspects of life. The fuck is wrong with you?
You know why, right? These fucking kids are lazy. These younger generation kids are too lazy and too busy out there screaming about racism and BLM and Antifa and all this stuff to have their own kids. So that, you know what? Let's just have a kid that's grown by the government. I can put whatever shit in it, and then the government puts whatever they want in it, and then little Johnny becomes 18 and decides to put a cap in mom and dad because, you know what? The government don't need him no more. So the government's just going to replace him with that.
Who is not to say that they become like experimentation for super soldiers?
I mean, they're already talking about potential genetic abnormalities. Okay, so what do you do when it discovers that? You gonna abort the baby and try again, or do you genetically?
Well, I mean, at this
You didn't
point,
see
they
the-
really don't give a shit about abortion anyway. They just whatever. 9 months is fine.
You see the little hole at the bottom where it just flushes itself down the drain? 'Cause that's basically what it's going to do.
I mean, it stops the abortion argument, though.
It stops everything. We're,
Like, there's an argument to be said that, like, babies inherently, you know, if you're with their mom, they respond to a mother's voice. They respond to a mother's smell and different things like that. Like, oh God, little Johnny saw George from the facility the other day and wanted a sickle on his teeth. Like, is that gonna happen?
probably.
Yeah.
Depends if George got nice teats.
George is gonna probably be one of those people from Wall-E, for crying out loud.
Probably.
You know that Family Guy's situation where he tries to have
Stewie suck his dick.
because he went to this gender re-education camp or some shit.
Yeah.
Once again, Family Guy has it right. That's fucking scary.
But the whole thing about birth is the fact that you've created a life together. You go through a situation together. You create this life together. the life comes out, and the life is there's a whole thing about touching the baby, touching the father, the baby touching the mother. So the baby knows, the father talks to the stomach, hey, you're going to be my little baseball player. You're going to be my little softball player. It's a whole bonding thing that happens. If you have something that's grown in a lab, like a fucking piece of broccoli, are you going to care about it?
No, because you could always do it again.
Yeah. And you could just get rid of it or abuse it in any way you want to, and just be like, it's not really my kid. I mean, look at we're having an issue with a lot of people in foster care. There's a lot of people that say that in their foster care they were sexually assaulted and abused in their foster care. Now just take a whole generation of kids that parents don't have any care in don't even there's no bonding or anything like that. The parents aren't going to care.
Nope. Not to mention the fact that going through pregnancy and everything, the woman bonds during pregnancy. Taking care of that life. You take that away, what makes the woman care in any way?
Jackie, got anything to add to this? Because I don't know. Do you have any experience with this?
I have no experience with both of my boys were born in an artificial womb that I kept in my house.
Oh,
no. No. But I don't know. It's strange. I think it makes me think. So, what is it in the future that they're seeing that there's going to be a bunch of women having hysterectomies? Because it's not very common in young women who are of childbearing years to get a hysterectomy if they haven't already had a child.
We've already seen a massive increase. Hysterectomy.
But so then it makes me think of, okay, well, we have
As a matter of fact,
shot came out.
Men can get hysterectomies now.
No, they can't, because
you want to bet?
It's a woman. It's a woman.
Well,
but we have the COVID shots that came out. We've had, how for years now, people have been talking about how infertility is increased, right? You have more people getting married later in life and women focusing more on their careers and not deciding to have a child until they're, mid to late 30s, sometimes 40s, So has this become a thing because of those societal things? Is it an actual plan? I don't know.
Yeah,
I talked too much and my throat said stop.
I think it is a plan.
Men can get hysterectomies, and women can get prostate cancer.
No, they can't. Women don't have prostate.
Well, I mean, the new Democratic Party does. The new Democratic women do.
To be fair, they're talking about transgender issues and everything like that.
I fear that these men who transition into women probably aren't knowledgeable enough to know that that women don't have prostates, so they'll actually need to tell their doctor to check my prostate.
Listen, though, the researchers found that 155 cases from 2000 to 2022 were confirmed as being trans women with prostate cancer. Of the 155, 116 had never used estrogen, and 152 had never undergone an orchiectomy, whatever the hell that is, the removal of the testicles. Oh, as diagnosis, median age of the patients was 61, and 88% were white. You're gonna sit there and this is the problem. This is the problem with society. Altogether, we've kind of gone off into a weird fucking tangent. I don't even know how to.
But this is one of the articles that we were supposed. Were we supposed to get this? Were we supposed to talk about this article?
No, I just brought this one up just to say, just to prove that.
I thought this was one of the ones you sent. Might have been the one Jackie sent the other day. But I mean, listen. Given estimates of 10,000. Well, we'll put that back for a sec. Given estimates of 10,000 transgender women in Veterans Affairs, 10,000 transgenders in the VA, 33 cases per year would be expected. Instead, only about 14 per year were observed. 10,000 transgenders at the VA? And they wonder why the military's going drag?
Well, at least
I
they're
mean,
fabulous.
They
And
did
it's the
hire
Navy.
that. They did hire that person to be the Navy one, but yeah.
But the thing is that you've got people encouraging children to castrate themselves medically. You have people convincing children to get hysterectomies because they don't want to have kids at a young age. You know, they have all these people convincing children to do all this stuff, boys to, to castrate themselves. And we wonder why these things are coming up. Once again, it's the government stepping in and telling these kids it's okay to do this stuff, and the kids are listening. I mean, I've never seen this is a mental illness. This is mentally ill people encouraging mental illness on children, and the fact that these kids are now going around and telling people that they know more. What happened to kids are to be seen and not heard? Okay, when I was a kid, I was told, "Shut my mouth. I don't know anything. I'm not an adult. I'll tell you when you're an adult." Right. And now it's like the parents are sitting there going, well, you know, when you double penetrate with this other guy, you know, when you're getting double penetrated and to an 8-year-old who's sitting there looking like it
I
just
ask for a cookie. God.
Yeah, I know. When I was balls deep in your dad, like, what are we doing, folks? What are we?
Look, they're talking about giving kids hysterectomies because they don't want to have kids at a young age. And if you want a kid after you've had a hysterectomy, well, that's fine. We can grow them in a lab. And yet, you want me to care about homeless people's rights?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Before we get onto this, just real quick, I just want to mention one thing. The sad part is that as a child, as a teenager, as an early 20-year-old, I didn't want kids. I didn't think I wanted kids.
Nope.
But you grow up and then you're like, oh well, maybe I do.
Neither did Ashley.
Have kids.
Yeah. You or Ashley you guys didn't want to have kids.
No.
Now Ashley got 2 right away, and you chose to have 2. So it happens.
Things change. People change their minds. All right. Sorry.
But Oregon bill gives homeless people right to sue if they feel harassed or ordered to leave. A new bill proposed by Democrats in the Oregon House of Representatives would permit homeless people to sue state residents for harassing them or ordering them to leave. The new bill, called the Right to Rest Act, seeks to decriminalize homeless encampments in public spaces and would give homeless Oregonians the right to sue for $1,000 per incident if harassed. The proposed legislation does not appear to address the actual homelessness. HB 3501 is sponsored by Rep. Farah. That bitch.
Can you push her name for me? Click on her name. Yep. Click on it. Read her bio.
Official account. Okay, there we go. Official account, Rep. Chichi, Oregon House of Representatives, Beaverton and Aloha. Lifelong Beavertonian. Activist, Democratic Socialists. Never mind.
Yeah. I pushed on that today and I saw that and I was like, got to activist, Democratic Socialist. I went, that's why. That's why.
It defines persons experiencing homelessness, not human, not vagrants, or whatever the fuck. Persons experiencing homelessness as those without a fixated nighttime residence, as well as individuals who live in their cars, share housing with other people, live in motels, hotels, or campgrounds. So, why are we changing the language? Why do we have to say 50,000 words to get to the same thing that one word could say? Why is this
considered a person experiencing homelessness since I share a house with other people?
Yes.
Okay.
If a homeless hold on. If a homeless man literally puts up a tent right outside your house because your house is private, if he parks and puts up residence right outside your house, you can be sued for $1,000 to say if you say get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
In Oregon, this is like the safety. Davey, you remember us talking about the Safety Act for Illinois?
Yeah.
This is the same shit for homeless people.
Dave's not here.
What the fuck?
Dave's not here.
But it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, with the Safety Act, it's literally people can post up in your what is it, your shed or something like that, and they can say they live here now, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, they can squatters' rights.
Yeah, the cops come, they give them a ticket, but you have to figure out how to legally remove them, and by those laws, there's no way to legally remove them.
And it's $1,000 per incident.
If you tell them 3 times to get the fuck out of here, that's $3,000.
$3,000. Yep. $3,000 personally. Now you're personal liable. Now, when you sue the government or the county or anything like that person's not, you know, those people who are on the boards and stuff like that, they're not personally liable because they're in government and they can do whatever they want. But keep telling yourself that the government cares about you. They don't. They want everybody poor. They want everybody on a level playing field. And mind you, these people are homeless. Yeah, these people are homeless. Most of the times, they're mental patients. There's a lot of people who are down and out on their luck. Even nowadays, there's not a lot. I mean, shoot, you could buy a house over here you can rent a house for $400 and make $600 a week paycheck. Mm-hmm. You know, so there's no reason for. I mean, panhandlers probably make about $600 a week over here in Kansas. But so you're going to sue somebody for $1,000 and just keep suing them anytime. So you can aggravate anybody you want. And if you're homeless, like California, you're allowed to, what is it? They pay homeless people. They give homeless people phones and pay them to be homeless. So why would you want to work?
Have you seen that video of that homeless guy who got food from people being generous and giving them food, and all he did was bitch about how it was in styrofoam and it wasn't environmentally friendly packaging?
No.
Yeah.
I have to find it.
Did y'all see that video that Ashley had where that woman was complaining about, you know, having a good turkey dinner with?
Yeah, we played it on the show when it first came out.
She was complaining about how the turkey was dry and the vegetables were cold, and it's just like, bitch, are you kidding me? You have a meal. I remember being homeless. I remember eating a handful or 2 of cereal a day and a fingerful of peanut butter just to sustain myself for a day. And you're gonna bitch about having the damn 3-course meal?
Yeah. Yeah, because we're all fucking spoiled. I'm never gonna let this go. We are so spoiled. I don't care what race you are, what you claim, whoever, where you live. We are so spoiled in this country that we're complaining about the food we get for free.
Mm-hmm.
For free. It's insane. And you got homeless people who don't even want food. You go out and get somebody food. It's like, can I just have the cash? Well, I know what you're going to spend it on, but I mean, these people, a majority of these people are mentally ill. And once again, we closed up the mental institutions, and now they're on the street. And then we wonder why we have an issue.
Well, any persons or group of people who are resistant to their rights of homeless people laid out by the bill can be fined up to $50,000 for the first violation. Subsequent violations can result in a $100,000 fine. So basically what they're saying here is if you say, I don't think this is a thing, guess what? Now that's a $50,000 fine. If you do it again, $100,000. If you do it again, $100,000. They are... What is the point of being fiscally responsible and putting a roof over your head and being a responsible adult if this is going to be a thing?
You will own nothing and you will like it.
You will eat the bugs. You will live in the pods. You will own nothing, and you will be happy.
Well, that's another thing with all these loans now and everything like that. My thing is, what they're gonna do is they're gonna give everybody all these loans. They're gonna buy these houses. They're gonna default on it, and who's gonna come in and sweep it and take the property? BlackRock and Vanguard. That's what's gonna
That
happen
wants to
here.
create a renter economy. So again, you'll own nothing, and you'll be happy.
Yeah. So they're gonna fine you $50,000 and $100,000. You're gonna be broke. You're not gonna be able to afford that. They're gonna take your house, and then they're gonna sell it to them, and you're gonna have to rent your own house. And or the homeless guy just comes in and just squats while you're in the middle of being out.
Right.
It's insane.
And here's how they're justifying the entire thing. Our sidewalks, streets, parks, and all public places should be available and accessible for all residents to use. If you don't have a house, you're not a resident. One citizen writes in opposition to the bill. Yesterday, a man on TriMet sat next to my disabled teen who was on the spectrum, put his arm around my son's shoulder, and offered to sell him drugs. We are already afraid to use the parks, TriMet, and sidewalks with tents blocking the way. And yet, you want to give these people more rights than the people who are actually trying to be productive members of society.
No, and it's the people who are paying the taxes. So you're shitting on the people who are actually contributing to society to make it easier for the people who are not contributing to society to further or to victimize the people who are basically subsidizing the way that they're living.
Yep.
Twofold, because they're probably giving them money for panhandling, and two, they're giving them money because they were harassed. Because the guy said, "Can you please move, or can you please not shit in front of me?" I felt uncomfortable because he was looking at my asshole while I was taking a piss. I feel victimized.
Excuse me, sir.
Never mind the fact that I put my asshole in his face while I was shitting, but...
Excuse me, sir. Can you not look at me directly in the eye as you're shitting on my lawn? That'd be great. It's $1,000. Thank you. So not only is this guy staring at you as he shits on his lawn, now you have to pay him $1,000 to shit on your lawn.
Hold on.
Yeah.
It's fine because I identify as a dog. Dogs stare at you while they take a shit.
I'm so
doing it. And they want to make you feel uncomfortable.
I'm sorry. Nobody else found that sentence as funny as I did. A homeless man went up to a child with autism, put his arm around him, and offered him drugs. I am almost deceased from that sentence. That is a sentence that I've never thought I'd heard in my entire life.
Well, I mean, hey.
I'm flabbergasted. Did you ever think in a news article you'd read a homeless guy went up to an autistic child and offered him drugs?
Well, at least that's all he offered him, though.
That they report.
Yeah.
What is this? ISTG Davey?
Hi, whoever that is.
That's my wife. I don't know what ISTG is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's gonna say something. But anyway, no, I mean it's insane to go this route. It's like all the way up until now, being a productive member of society, buying a house, having a car, the white picket fence, that was the American fucking dream. And now, within the past 5 years, that American dream is being a homeless man, shooting up drugs, killing people, and it's okay. And the people that say, no, it's not, are the ones that go to jail. Oh, I swear to God.
Yes, a promotion came in.
Well, okay, no, speaking of this homelessness now stuff, too, and all that other... So now in New York, okay, in New York City, there are so many protests and people are actually lining up on the subway tracks for the Jordan Neely dude who unfortunately died because he was acting a fool and people put him in a chokehold and try to because they were in fear for his life.
What?
Fear
Listen,
for their life.
hold on. In the guy's defense, he said, "You want to be starting something," and the guy started something.
Anyway,
well, I mean, even that's
ran, screaming. It was
that's
anarchy.
a crazy ass. Even that's a crazy ass story because the entire time they're talking about, okay, well, this guy walks onto a train, he starts actually threatening people, a lot of different people, and this one dude who's a Marine stands up and he's like, fuck that, you're putting a lot of people at risk, I'm gonna restrain you. Yes, he did it in a fucked up ass way, I will admit that, but 3 other people were there trying to restrain the dude too, and you're gonna sit there and cry and whine and say he was murdered? If they didn't, what would have happened? I mean, fucking New York City subways and shit, you got women that are being raped and nobody says anything, and somehow that's a problem, but a man running out and saying, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and somebody
you got you got people being thrown on the railroad tracks, you got people being pushed into trains, and they don't say a word, but this guy who is threatening people, we gotta do
push this year alone.
How many?
Yeah.
25.
It's only because the guy who choked him out is white. You know this, right?
Yep.
Even though that the other people holding him down were black. I don't know. No. I'm thinking that the guy came on the train and he's like you said, I'm gonna be starting something. Then he started doing the whole, touching his crotch and going ee-hee-hoo, and then people are like, oh God, we have a situation on our hands. We need to get this under control before he puts the glove on and some kid goes running somewhere.
Well, I mean, but apparently he was threatening people, and I'm trying to find it because I saw a video.
Time. Just kidding. Don't threaten me with good time.
There's a video. Where is it?
There was also one where a black man ran up into a. I forget exactly where it was. I was listening to it earlier today, but a black man ran up into a library and executed a white man just because. Ran out of that, then ran to a grocery store or gas station or something like that, and did it again. And they're trying to say that black man was the innocent victim in it all. I want to find that.
Hold on, here's one of the videos of Jordan Neely right here.
But shirt, yeah, rainbow. Angry Michael. See you, Michael. Yo, that guy was crazy. What are you gonna do? 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 I'll call a cop. I'll call a cop. Punch me, nigga. I'll call a cop. You gonna do something? Whoa, swinging, huh? Swinging, man, huh? I'll call a cop. I will. You ain't gonna do nothing. I just stepped on your jacket. Michael. Michael, I just stepped on your jacket. See you later.
All right.
Here it is. That was him.
Is what happened tragic?
Yes.
Is the appropriate response multiple protests, shutting down New York subway stations, and people being like, justice for Jordan? No.
Just like the same thing with George Floyd. Absolutely fucking not. But just to show y'all that I ain't bullshitting, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tulsa police identified both victims killed in shootings at Russell Library and North Tulsa Quick Trip. Police said London Hathcock was shot and killed at the library, and James McDaniel was shot and killed at the Quick Trip. One person is in custody after 2 shootings in North Tulsa. Police identified him as Carlson Jefferson Guilford, fuck that dude. He is in the hospital recovering from self-inflicted gunshot wound. The shootings happened before 10 a.m. at the Quick Trip in Pine in North Peoria and Russell Library. Police said the shooting started at the library when the suspect went into the library, walked up to a man at a desk, and shot him in the back of the head. They said he then went to the Quick Trip and shot another man in the back of the head and fired another shot inside the store. The victim shot inside the Quick Trip died, and the victim at the library is in the hospital. Officers said so far the shootings seem random, but they are working to learn more.
How much you want to bet this guy gets out? How much you want to bet this guy gets out?
Oh, of course, because, dude, he's black. He killed two
What
white
happened
people.
to
Who the fuck
kid
cares?
in Texas? Remember the kid in Texas who?
Oh
shot up
yeah,
the
remember?
school?
Yeah, remember that?
And then they said that he was the victim because he was bullied, and that's the reason why he brought a gun to school and started shooting people.
Yeah.
And then he got out on bail, and they had a bomb ass party for him for his bail party.
Yep.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because it doesn't stay in the news. That just went in and was gone. It came and then it went.
Yes, Thanos, I know my mic is garbage. I have another one right here. I need a cloud lifter to make it work. This one I'm using is going out. But yes.
But yeah, I mean,
But it's the same shit over and over again. I mean, how many times have we heard these stories over and over and over again, and yet somehow it's the aggressor that is somehow the victim every single time.
All right,
it makes no damn sense.
Yeah, here it is. This is the suspected a Texas high school gunman released on bail after one day after teacher and student shot. It's Timothy George Simpkins, 18 years old, attended Timberview High School in Arlington, reported to home confinement after he posted $75,000 bond. Skims, he was Part of the conditions of his release, he was to submit to drug and alcohol testing or GPS monitoring. Yeah.
I mean, it's the same situation that happened in Nashville because they were bullied. They felt like running up into a school after somebody else had died that they were close to. They feel like running up into a school, and because they were misgendered and people were treating them like shit and didn't want to affirm their made-up ass gender, that they ended 3 children's lives that had never had a chance in their life to make a choice for themselves. But yet, the person who ran up in a school, is somehow the victim.
Yeah.
So the Allen, Texas killer's dead. I just saw a video. I know I don't know if I said it here, but I called the lady a dumb cunt today because she put a video. She made it political, and I was pissed off that people are dead, and there's a video of actual somebody walking up to the people and showing dead and looked like a 5-year-old was one of the people that were killed. And so I just opened Twitter. A social worker apparently shot the guy.
Wait, aren't those the ones that are supposed to be replacing the police?
I have no idea. It was probably a person who had a gun somewhere around. But yeah, he was loaded for bear though. Loaded for bear.
Real quick, what can you tell us more? Well, tell me more because I tell everyone else who's watching more about what happened in Texas. I have been out all day. Haven't been on my phone, so I don't really know what's going on.
So, Allen, Texas, I get a text from Kelly about a little while ago. Let me see the messages. She sends me a message around. Let me see. Around 2:30. Oh no, 4:30. My bad. It says currently a large number of law enforcement and other agencies are responding to an active shooter at Allen Outlet Mall in Allen, Texas, with reports of 30 to 40 shots that have fired. Officials have reported multiple people have been shot from reported fatalities. Police are asking everyone to avoid the area. So this is the video that I got from Raw Alerts. By the way, if you have Twitter and you want to make sure you have everything, Raw Alerts is the
Yo, there's cops everywhere. Shots at the outlet.
So this is what I got. And then let me see if it this is what people were showing under.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Under here, there's about 5 or 6 bodies on top of each other. So then this was sent to me, and literally you can see here he is.
Is that the gunman?
Yep. And that's the H&M that's showing you the top view.
So what the fuck was this for? Just because?
He looked like a Spanish dude. I was also heard that he was an immigrant that had been up for 5 criminal charges. And yeah.
Some of these it doesn't make sense.
No. I none of this in the last year or so has made any sense. Hasn't made any sense. Like the all of a sudden there's derailment after derailment after derailment. There's food places on fire out of nowhere. Like, and I mean out of nowhere because they weren't reporting. If this happened under the last administration or the administration before that, we definitely see everything, especially since Twitter's been around for a while. But for some reason, the last 2 years has been existentially worse. Oh, yeah. And I'm what happened in the last 2 years? People have been getting certain vaccinations. People have been taking certain kinds of medicine. And now all of a sudden, people are freaking out. People are being put on some kind of hormone, some kind of testosterone. It just does not make any sense. And it's just
like, you know, the butternut dude who's in the Discord there. You know, his dad was in that shooting situation.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find that.
In Atlanta.
Here it is. Hold on. Let me bring this over here. Share this tab. This is like 5.5 hours, but we bring that one here. But yeah.
Nearby, I don't know if there's one in the building, but it's mostly doctors' offices. In fact, so my primary physician, her office is her practice is in that building. And there used to be, for example, I got my eyeglasses done. There was an eye care facility on a different floor. There is security in that building. You pass by the security, you know, to get up the escalators, and it's not terribly far from Atlanta Police, and so you're seeing this massive response from Atlanta Police in the area. It does remind me there was a shooting not too far. This was about a year or two ago, and it was at Colony Square, Kira, if you remember how far that north side is. Yeah, it was at Colony Square, which is a sort of shopping center. It was a somewhat similar situation. It was a young woman who she shot two people, I believe. And there was this massive search for this person. They ended up finding that person at the airport in that incident. And that wasn't terribly too far from where this incident has happened.
But yeah, I mean, Alex's butternut from, he has his own little thing he's trying to start up too. But his dad was involved in that. His dad was locked down from that shit. And just out of nowhere, this dude just runs up into this medical facility and just starts shooting for absolutely no reason. There's nothing that has come up about it. There's nothing that's been reported about it. The dude has been caught, but that's about it. Like, what the fuck is going on with places now?
I have no idea. I know we keep bouncing back and forth, but I'm just on Twitter right now. And
here we go.
And hold on, I got to get back to it. This is what, Mama J, this is what you were talking about is going on. Nope. Not that. What the hell?
Okay.
Oh, right here. Right here. I don't know what the hell that was.
Mm-hmm.
Are you fucking dumb?
Hey, put your tongue on the rail.
Touch the fifth rail, quick.
It's all for their Instagram. It's like so dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, he almost did that. He almost electrocuted the shit out of himself.
Yeah.
That's the third rail. That's where the electricity goes through. And that guy was just jumping up and down on it. So not only that, you got that, and then why does this lady keep popping up? I don't know who she is.
Can we let fucking Darwinism just run through America? Just run through the population yet again. It just needs to happen.
Do you know how many times I think that and say that to myself?
I used to be just like, no, every life is fucking precious. No, every life is not fucking precious. If you want to stand in front of a fucking subway with a subway car barreling down the fucking rails, your ass needs to go.
Well, no, and here's the thing though. It's like I think about the people that are actually on the train car. What if there's someone on there that has like major anxiety and they're about to freak out because they're like, I need to get out of this fucking tube underground. And then you get these assholes that are jumping around being like, oh, no justice, no peace, no justice, hee-hee. Like that, right? They got to. And then another Jordan Neely situation happens because someone's having an anxiety attack. They're like, I'm about to freak the fuck out. And everyone's like, oh wait, all right. Well, now we gotta hold this person down.
Right.
People are like I don't know.
And this is why I say, everybody's like, oh well, you need to care about people more. You need to keep their feelings involved. No, where the fuck were they involved with my feelings? Where I care about shit. Did they give a damn about my feelings when they started all this dumb shit? Fuck no. So why the fuck should I care about them?
And
we got another one here.
Yeah. And mind you, I just saw another video of Jordan Neely taking a shit. I didn't want to show it because it shows he was pretty excited while he was taking a shit on the subway. On the subway platform. He was taking his shit fully no bottom. Okay? This is what this is for.
I'm not playing with the NYPD. You can take a fucking picture and put it up on the precinct. Talk about it. God, we don't care if city up and we don't make some change.
Yes, we will. Jordan Neely. Jordan Neely.
What do they want?
Nothing.
To just cause havoc. That's all they want. They want to just sit there because there's other videos. If you could, Twitter right now is exploding with videos of people just running havoc through the street of New York, through the train stations and everything. And these people are just getting away with it because you know why? Once again, it's the cops don't want to do anything about it because they're just going to get out anyway.
Yeah.
They're not going to do anything to them.
It strikes me as curious that this happens and then all of a sudden these protests spring up because it's not organic.
No.
We all know it's not. I'm sure Open Society has its fingers all over this. Okay.
How do they have signs already made?
Exactly.
How do they have signs already made?
So this happened.
How do they have drums on the fucking street immediately?
Yeah.
Every time.
2 weeks after Congress was just in New York City, talking about how much crime there is in the city.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's Democrats basically saying, "Well, it's because of Trump. That's why we're here." You're like, no.
I'm so Trump is the man was president for 4 years. We've had problems since how long? And it's because of these last 4 years that everything is upside down. No, this shit has been going on for a long time, and now that I'm sorry, it started with Obama allowing people to just go out and tell mayors and everybody, stand down, let them do what they got to do. Don't do this, don't do that. And it just kept going. It kept going. It started, to be honest, it started a lot like the OJ riots and stuff like that. But like a lot of this consistent stuff, it started with that beer summit where the cop went to arrest the guy, the Harvard professor, and the Harvard professor started mouthing off to the cop because the cop thought he was not in the right neighborhood or something. I don't know. And then Obama wanted a beer summit and to have them have a beer, and the people got pissed off and then started rioting. And then it just kept progressing and progressing and progressing after that. And it came to the point where Trump was elected, and now they burned down D.C. May 29th happened. They don't talk about that. They lit the guardhouse on fire. They don't want to talk about that, but they want to put in jail Enrico Tarrio and the Proud Boys and a guy who just threw a chair at one of the cops for 14 years for assault. Well, 14. I couldn't even get it out. I choked on that. 14 years the dude is getting. For aggravated assault. He threw a chair at him like a WWE wrestler, and the guy's going to jail for 14 years. Meanwhile, these people are talking about burning down the New York City for a criminal.
All right. Well, okay. They haven't. I'll say this: them going in the streets and doing what they're doing right now, just in the streets, like protesting, like speaking in their megaphone. They look stupid, but whatever. Fine, you can do that. That's fine. When you start like impeding on people's ability to get from here or there, like, standing as like an idiot on the subway rails, like that's where I'm like, okay, stop. When it starts like destruction of property and like and like not letting people being able to go from one place to another. That's when I'm like, okay. And like obviously, like I said, destruction of property, fires, all that other stuff. But I mean, it's crazy to me that also now we've gotten to this time where they could call people insurrectionists for like January 6th. But like you were saying, on May 29th, when all this stuff was going on, it's okay. It's justified because, the thing is like, we have had these issues for so long. We've only spoke for so long. All we had left was to destroy stuff. That's how they justify doing that. And now you have Enrico Tarrio. The reason why he wasn't at January 6th was because he got arrested because St. John's Church they tried to burn down on May 29th put up a Black Lives Matter banner at the church. Enrico Tarrio took it down, and they arrested him for that. Okay.
Yes.
You can burn the American flag, but hell have fury if you try to burn a gay pride flag or you try to take down a BLM flag.
And
Yes,
burn that.
and
It's a hate crime.
the whole May 29th thing for everybody out there listening, because that isn't talked about a lot. May 29th, 2020, you had Antifa and BLM that were rioting in DC. They burnt down the guard shack in front of the White House in an attempt to get to the White House to burn it down to kill a sitting president because they were told he was racist. They set fire to the historic church across the street from that, and Trump and the Capitol Police got rid of those protesters with gas, and all of a sudden, in every news station around the world, it was peaceful protesters were gassed by Trump so he could take a picture. No, these motherfuckers were trying to kill the president.
And here's the thing, in the same breath, okay, within hours of each other, first, they made fun of Trump for saying that he was a pussy because he got taken down into the bunkers because of these protests. And then they call him an asshole for taking a picture in front of the church that those other assholes try to burn down.
With the upside down Bible.
The upside down
And he's
Bible.
an idiot because he's an idiot because he was holding the Bible upside down.
But you guys brought up the Proud Boys and everything. Do you know who picked up Enrico Tarrio from jail?
It's called the segue, my friend.
Yeah.
we're pretty good at those.
You know who picked up
Who picked him up from jail?
an FBI informant?
Ugh.
Now,
Yeah,
I'm
wasn't
going
that
to admit,
cool?
before we get started, this was written on March 24th, 2023. This is midway through the Proud Boys trial. Now, I've been following the Proud Boys trial through the Robert Gouveia.
Well, yeah, that's what I was.
Off-label.
I would. Hey, can you put us in touch with him so you can get him on our show? Because we'd like to talk to him because he's pretty interesting.
I mean, I could talk to him. I mean, if y'all want him. But
yeah, I'd love to talk to him about this because he's that dude's. I watched that episode with him. That dude is smart. I mean, he's a lawyer, but you know, he knows. And I was watching the other one that you sent us the other day, where he was kind of breaking everything down like Charlie in It's Always Sunny, where he's got everything like, it's gonna go here, it's gonna go there, guys. I know I'm doing this, but this is gonna go. But
the mind map he uses just fucking blows my mind, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was talking to him, and you know, we were going through the Trump trial and everything with Off Label with me and Ashley, and you know, I've been following this. He covered the entire thing from the very beginning, 60 plus days of this. He covered the entire Proud Boys trial. In that trial, now in this, like I said, this was written on March 24th, 2023. So there's going to be some outdated information. In this trial, there have been 50 plus FBI informants that were instigating in January 6th. Now, getting to the end before we come back here, yes, 4 of the 5 Proud Boys have been convicted of seditious conspiracy simply because the informants were not able to be used as justification for the seditious conspiracy that those 4 were found guilty of. The 5th one, Dominic Pizzola, actually went through an appeal because he was already found guilty, went to an appeal, and he was acquitted of not all charges, but he was acquitted of the seditious conspiracy that the other 4 were for because they were able to use this. Now, it says in here, over the past 2 months, one subject has repeatedly come up at the trial of 5 Proud Boys accused of sedition in connection with the storming of the Capitol. The unusual number of informants that the FBI had in or near the group. Even before the trial began, defense lawyers had suggested that the Bureau had as many as 8 informants. It is now 50 that have been pointed out in the far right organization of the month surrounding January 6th. At least one of them, from the group's chapter in Kansas City, was in the throng of Proud Boys that marched on the Capitol that day. On Wednesday, new court papers reveal that there was yet another informant in the Proud Boys' orbit who became uncommonly close to the people involved in the sedition trial. The newly disclosed informant, a Texas-based activist named Jen Lowe, took part in a prayer meetings with some of the defendants' relatives and had multiple contacts within the defendants themselves while they have been in jail. She was also in touch with some of the defense lawyers in the case, making what one of them, Nicholas Smith, had called constant drum beats or derailed inquiries with Mr. Smith, said she had ignored. Carmen Hernandez, which, by the way, was one badass lawyer throughout the entire thing, another defense lawyer working on the case, described what Miss Lowe has been doing as surreptitious invasion of the Proud Boys defense team. She demanded this week that the government turn over any reports from other informants who may have gathered information on the defense. That was never done. That was kept secret. And because that the government never disclosed who they were, the jury was not allowed to use them as justification for the seditious conspiracy that 4 of the 5 were found guilty.
Wouldn't that be considered a Brady violation, though?
Yes.
So then they can get that thrown out.
You're also talking about the prosecution being the government itself.
I know, and it being in DC.
So
I want to go ahead, and then I'm gonna say this real quick, and then you can go, and then I'm gonna take it back. Okay. I wanted to go over the legal definition of what sedition is, so people kind of get an understanding. So go ahead.
I finally found what I've been looking for months on end. This was, remember Jaden X, the guy that CNN put on television that he just happened to
His name's Sullivan.
be there.
James Sullivan.
Yeah. This was look at this. Does this look anything weird? What day is that?
January 1st of 2021.
The first.
Nope. Look at the poster of Trump. Kick these fascists out of DC, January 6, 2021. Location, Washington Monument, 11 a.m.
Dump Trump.
Son of a bitch.
I told you I had this. Insurgents USA.
Wow.
Number one, y'all can sit there. Oh, it's a conspiracy theory that January 6th, all this bullshit that everybody has ever been saying about this. Y'all can't say that shit anymore. If you follow the Proud Boys shit, 50 plus, this included, no, that shit was orchestrated. Why the fuck was Nancy Pelosi's daughter there with a video camera for a historic event that has happened 45 other fucking times? Where Nancy Pelosi is on record saying, this is my moment. I've been waiting for this. What the fuck?
John Sullivan, 26, the founder of Insurgents USA, a group for racial justice and police reform. And it says it right here. Insurgents USA. So tell me again. I know I had it. Tell me again how they were not there January 6th.
No. Hold up. In Ray Epps' deposition, I want to bring that up too. I'm gonna find it real quick. In Ray Epps' deposition, he said that he actually orchestrated the shit. You can actually, I will link this as a matter of fact. But he said he helped orchestrate it. He saw that he was at the rally and he saw people walking away about 15 minutes before the speech was done, and he went to follow. And then when he got there, from what he was saying, now he was literally in the entire thing, he was coached into this by Adam Kinzinger and all the other redacted names. You can read it yourself. you can find it yourself in every single way where they say, oh, by that you mean this, by that you mean this. They coached him along the way in all of this deposition. Where is it? But yeah, Ray Epps, the same person that has been on everybody's mind as to why he has not been in it. He was on an FBI wanted list, and the next damn day, this motherfucker was removed from it. And all of a sudden, this motherfucker, they couldn't serve him a warrant in the Proud Boys case because they couldn't find him, but yet, not even a week later, he pops up on CNN or fucking 60 Minutes doing an interview for them?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding?
It was Donald Trump's fault. I believed everything he said.
Let me go into this right here. I will take this, copy, paste. I will put it in Rumble as well. And in the comments.
Can you put it
on?
Oh wait, hun. I'll just copy it.
Where is it?
I want to read this.
It's close to the end of the whole thing. It's 80, 86, 87, something like that. No, it did not. Here it is. Right? No. It's further up. 81, maybe?
97.42, said Hut.
Whoa. Hold on. Why are all these names redacted? Like
Exactly.
the senior investigative counsel, like the senior technical advisor, staff assistant, researcher, chief clerk. Why the fuck are these people all redacted?
Because they don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to know the truth. Boom, boom, boom.
Let me see.
By the way, you're looking at Mama J. I don't know if you got my text.
I was right here on it. What? Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I want. This is totally from left field, but I want Jack to come in and do what I did yesterday, Thursday, every once in a while.
I do.
So my idea is that when we're doing an interview, I want Jack to just come in and just ask the most random question and then just leave like a caller. just come in, whoever we're interviewing, just be like, "So do you like Parmesan cheese?" and just back out like nothing ever happened. I think that'd be awesome because I popped in Thursday while they were doing their first live 2 Jackson 1 Scotch, and and I was like, oh man, that'd be a great idea if just Jack or somebody just popped in because I like Jack and I want him to be associated with us. But yeah, if he just popped in, asked like the most mundane question and just left out of nowhere, and he can put himself in and take himself out because he has the access. So that would be so funny, just for fun.
That would be really funny.
But right here, page at the end of page 60. It says, now this comes after a break, okay? Because they knew these questions were coming up after a break of 10, 15 minutes. These are the things that were brought up. So it looks like around 9 a.m. your nephew texts you and Jim be safe. And then at 2:12 p.m. on January 6th, you text back, I was in the front with a few others. I also orchestrated it. This is the exact same time in the video that I just played. Help us understand this text. What do you mean by orchestrate? What did you orchestrate? I just meant that you have to understand a relationship, uncle nephew. We hunt together. We fun with each other. We do that kind of stuff. What I meant by orchestrate, I helped people get there. Number one, that's not how you orchestrate anything by just telling people it's that way. Number one.
You say I help people.
Right.
I showed the people the way.
This motherfucker was implicated in about half of the things with the Proud Boys trial, and yet they can't find him to subpoena him for the Proud Boys trial. But a week after the judge says, there's nothing we can do about it, he pops up on 60 Minutes where you have to reach out to the person, say, hey, we want to do this. Will you come on? That person says yes. You make all that happen, which means that was planned before he was even brought up in the Proud Boys trial.
Well, I also want to point out, so he said around 2:12 or whatever, he texts back. I want to get a timeline of when people started saying that their phones were jammed. Because
The whole day.
Yeah.
It was the whole day. Yes.
It was the whole day.
Nothing
If
came
you were-
out
did he
from
get the
January
text?
6th as far as video footage is concerned until after January 6th because
So-
data was shut down.
So what happened is, because we know I was there. So once you entered in the square or whatever that he was doing that stuff, signal was gone for the most part. I mean, I got a tiny bit of signal for something to send a text message, but that was it. And it was way before that Trump came on. But it was you had to get like a mile away from there in order to get any sort of signal. So at 2 something, he was probably at the Capitol building where they probably get signal at the Capitol building. But you had to be like, we were walking and I wasn't getting any signal. And we were walking back. I don't even know where the freak we were, but we were far away from it. We didn't even see it. Like I said, we were halfway home and somebody goes, "Are you in the Capitol?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Dude, turn the news on." And I'm like, "We're driving." And I turned it and I went to Twitter and I saw everything that was going on. But yeah, we had to get almost out of DC. So 2 something o'clock, they had already started at 11. They were starting doing that stuff at 11, 12 o'clock. So it's the timelines, and 2 o'clock he had to be either gone because you just see him in that first video where he's trying to get everybody in. Do you see him inside at all?
From what he was talking about with everything that has been pressed and from everything that has been shown is, okay, the dude walks up there. Of course, there's that video of him talking into that dude's ear where you can hear him plain as day say, "We need to go in." Some things were said that is not legible or is not audible.
Audible, yeah.
5 minutes or 5 seconds later, the dude's breaking down the barricade. Now, on the right hand side of the camera, you can see that they already collapsed that. So there is that argument as to, yeah, he saw that and he went in. But he said, "We need to go in." The dude goes in. He's like, "Okay, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to leave." And then he starts hearing screams and somebody needs help. And he's a medic. So he goes to help that person. He helps that person, drags them out, and then he goes home. Well, he goes back to his hotel. That's the story. But yet he's on 4 or 5 different places in different instances in different cameras that there is no way in hell he went back to his hotel.
Yeah, let's bring this full circle. And we want to trust the government with AI?
Right?
And we want to trust these people with artificial intelligence and allowing them to make up rules for something that'll eventually take us out.
The fact that they were not able to use these informants that have been known as justification to even consider innocence in any way is a problem. Now, throughout the entire case, if you would follow it along with Robert Gouveia, you can always go back to his YouTube. You can go through every bit of that and every single bit of the way. And everything the defense brought up, it was always objection or sidebar. You can't say these kinds of things. What is the point of the defense if you can't put up a defense?
Right. Hun, I want
The
to
only
go
reason
back.
Dominic Pizzola got away with it And the only reason he was acquitted of that is because they were able to use that. And the jury did hear of this after the fact. And once you know something, there's no justification saying, well, I know there were 50 plus fucking people involved that were instigating the shit, but never mind that.
Yeah, it's like the whole Whitmer shit, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a double jeopardy case altogether. There's two people that were acquitted of it and then brought back up on the same damn charges. That was a double jeopardy. They had to get somebody on that shit.
But so I wanted to just go through like the legal definition of what sedition is and like seditious conspiracy. So if you don't mind, just real quick.
Yeah.
So it just says in here that sedition is the crime of revolting or inciting revolt against the government. However, because of a broad protection of free speech under the First Amendment, prosecutions for seditions are rare. Nevertheless, sedition remains a crime in the United States under the code, blah, blah, 18 U.S.C.A., blah, blah, blah. Okay. A federal statute that punishes seditious conspiracy and which outlaws advocating the overthrow of the federal government by force. Was there any evidence of those guys doing that? And it says generally a person may be punished for sedition only when he or she makes statements that create a clear and present danger to rights that the government may lawfully protect.
Throughout the entire case, I can tell you yes and no. Because Dominic Pizzola was the one, he did take the riot shield. He did finish breaking the window that the government informant, the man in red that has been implicated in damn near every breach, he broke the window. Dominic Pizzola finished breaking through.
But would
every
that
single
really be
time? No. I mean, if you think about it logically, no, in any way. Every single time there has been an instance of something, there has been a federal informant or a Fed that was involved in every instance.
Yeah. Well, it goes on to say the crime of seditious conspiracy is committed when two or more persons in any state or U.S. territory conspire to levy war against the U.S. government. A person commits the crime of advocating the violent overthrow of the federal government when she willfully advocates or teaches the overthrow of the government by force, publishes material that advocates the overthrow of the government by force, or organizes persons to overthrow the government by force. And it says person found guilty of So, and it's just saying that they're fined and sentenced up to 20 years in prison. But it also makes me think of, okay, what about all these things that we've seen that are going on in capitals all over the place now?
Yeah.
Would that be considered sedition?
Sedition? Yeah.
Yes. Just like what happened in Tennessee with the Tennessee 3.
I forgot I had this. I forgot I had this for you.
Notice me, senpai. Notice me. Notice me.
I forgot about that. I was just going through it. I was like, oh yeah, I had that one. But yeah, the same thing would happen with the that jerk from Tennessee.
It says government, not federal, not state. It says government. So yes, those three that actually had planned that out, had actually walked through and supported as well as orchestrated what happened in Tennessee would be considered sedition, which is why they were ousted. Two of the three were ousted. The other one probably just joined in. From all accounts, that was probably just one of those things where, yeah, a lot of people are doing this. Let me get involved, which is why she stayed. But the other two that were ousted did plan that. That did come out. They had all of that ready to go. And the fact that they all stood up at the very same time to do that is proof in of itself. Yet they were ousted and brought back. Why? Because they were black.
Well, I also heard that she was yelled screaming,
You can do it! You can do it! You can do it!
well, I heard she also said she was the only one who said she was sorry. That's why she wasn't completely ousted from her position. So that's kind of why she still got to stay and they didn't.
Well, I did kind of follow that through a lot, and from what I can tell from everything that came up, I can guarantee you, like, I'm not gonna say beyond a shadow of a doubt, but I can guarantee you she was not involved in that. She just kind of like, oh my God, there's a crowd here. Yes, let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. That's what she did, and that's
She was being a white.
She didn't
She was
orchestrate it.
she was being a white savior. Is basically what was going on.
Yes, but the other two, there was instant after the whole fact, after all that, the whole the committee and everything to kick them out. Yes, it was planned. Yes, they did it.
Very nice.
I love these things. It's just the double standard on everything. It's just once again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. When people scream about equity or equality, they don't want equity or equality. They want superiority.
Yes.
Okay, that's all it is.
Absolutely.
They all
Scream
they
about
just want.
white supremacy, but black supremacy is on the fucking rise.
And when
Yeah.
you make excuses that you can't be racist because you're not white, you can be prejudiced. It's the same fucking thing. You're discriminating against somebody because of the color of their skin. I don't care what you call it. It doesn't make a difference. It's still the same thing. You're discriminating on someone who is not the color that you are, and you just don't like them because of that color. It's stupid. And everybody who's sitting there. To be honest, listen, if you're in New York and you're this lily white girl and you're from out of the state, here's my advice to you. Anytime you're on a subway, anytime you're walking through the city, anytime you're sitting somewhere, have your back to a wall or make sure your head is on a swivel, because somebody at some point will see you and will try to take advantage of you somehow. It doesn't matter. If they sniff you are not from and they know who these people are. White, anybody from that's out of town, you're wearing a cowboy hat, they're gonna come after you. Okay? So my advice to you is, if you're on a subway, find a platform wall and stay there. If you're in a cafe or something like that, make sure you're up against the wall and you're keeping your head on a swivel and checking out what's going on. Take your head off the phone for 2 minutes. Take your head out of the phone for 2 minutes and wait till you get to wherever you're going to go, because the people continuously push. Like I just saw it the other day. The guy just pushed a girl into the train out of nowhere. Girl didn't say a word to him. She was looking down at her phone. The guy just took her and tossed her on the a train. It's just and once again, it's the mental illness. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw this, but did you see the two people fucking in the middle of the train platform like 2 years ago during the pandemic? Huh?
No.
Yeah, there's just two people fucking on a bench in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what they
I know
do.
what you're talking about with that.
That's what they do. And I'm not talking about they as in a race, just crazy people in New York.
Walking back.
Yeah. No, it's not nothing about race. It's just there are nuts. People are nuts in that city. And they're just going to do whatever. Like I said, there was a video of the guy taking a dump in the middle of the platform. New York is not a nice place. Why people want to move there and stay there, especially with the technology we have nowadays, you're out of your mind. You are out of your mind.
I will tell you this. I am starting to have a newfound hope in New York City. And I know it sounds fucking strange, but I'll tell you why. And then we're going to roll off into the Rumble Only segment here. Dwayne Wade.
Really get saucy.
Right?
Oh, my God.
Dwayne Wade.
Oh,
left Florida because he didn't feel safe with his trans kid he goes off into New York, and New York boos that motherfucker for transitioning his kid. I do have a newfound faith in New York. I think they're starting to wake up. I think they're starting to understand with all the killings and everything, the shopping cart killer, the duffel bag killer, everything that's going on in New York. I think they're starting to understand. And it gives me a little bit of hope that maybe New York could be saved. But y'all are going to have to go over to Rumble here because we're about to really get into some shit. Apparently, y'all want to talk about how the boycott on Anheuser-Busch isn't working?
And I want to talk about serial killers for a moment.
Oh, we could do that right before we get into it. Yes, but y'all head on over to Rumble because we're about to really get into some shit. And because YouTube doesn't like a certain person who wants to play woman face, mocking everybody, they take things down. They don't want you talking about this. We're going to head on over to Rumble and finish this up. Y'all join us over there, ladies and gentlemen. Until then, go fuck yourself, YouTube.